Hey, what's up everyone? Igor from the Better Life Academy here. And today, guys, I want to talk about this thing which you see in the title of this video. Why higher IQ does not actually mean better results. I don't know if you ever heard about it or thought about it, but at some point of my life, I definitely thought that the higher IQ is, the better off you are and the better results you will get and more successful will you be. And then at some point of my life, I just started to study it and learn about it and hear about it more and more. And I figured out that IQ actually measures the ability and capacity of your mind and your brain. Just think about it. It's only the capacity to learn, capacity to process information, capacity to memorize things and things like that. And it's only worth something if you tap into that capacity and you use this capacity for your advantage. That's why the higher IQ does not mean better results. Let's say we take two people, one person with the IQ worth of 120 points and the other person with the IQ worth of 100 points. So, by the measures of IQ, that kind of person with 120 of IQ should be more successful, more smart and things like that, right? But this is only measurement of the capacity. So in real life, that person might use only 10% of the capacity, meaning 12 points. And that person actually uses 90% of those 100 points it has. And it's 90 points versus 12 points, huge of the difference, right? And as a result, that person with the lower IQ will get better results. Why am I talking about this today? Is just because the same happens with our capacity to learn. And I would even say we all more or less have the same capacity to learn, right? And yet a lot of us just stop learning at some point of our life. And a lot of us actually keep learning and love learning and become a learning machine, as I call them. And I actually count myself into that group and I want to be in that group and learn the entire life. So what is the difference? What's the difference between these two groups of people? Well, I think, and that's what I also learned, is that the difference is fear of learning. And you might be surprised right now. It's like, what do you mean? Why would I fear to learn? Well, think about it. Remember your school, remember the college, university, and all those moments of your life where you learn. It's school with the group of collectiveness and things like that. What was happening, and which I'm not agree with, and a lot of people around would not agree with modern education, is that we being punished for making mistakes. Just think about it. As soon as we make a mistake in a test or mistake in some other activities around the school, around the current education system, we get lower grades. And eventually our mind and ourselves, we think we're being punished and we're being worse than someone else. And that's how they evaluate us. And our self-esteem drops and a lot of different things happen because of it. But the most dangerous thing what happens is we are being hurt. We actually being punished, and God forbid we're being punished at our homes physically for bringing the lower grades. What happened with me? Maybe not all of you guys, but a lot of you this as well, right? And what happens with our mind at this point? Well, the mind wanna escape that feeling of being hurt. Therefore want to escape learning, because learning actually brings the hurt. Learning hurt us. That's how we develop the fear. The school and existing education system actually helps us, quote unquote, develop this fear of learn, because eventually when you learn, right, you start making mistakes because you apply this knowledge to whatever you learn, and then you make mistakes, and then you are afraid of these mistakes because you think as soon as you're gonna make a mistake, you're gonna get hurt, you're gonna get punished physically or mentally or emotionally. That's why we procrastinate and stop learning. And another example of this, I would even say, some of us have stopped learning at school, at universities, right? And then let's say at some point of their lives, and maybe because of this video, hopefully After hearing that, you're like, oh my god, I gotta start learning. That's exactly it. I start learning just because of this feeling to be heard, to be judged, and things like that, right? What's gonna happen with you next, I can guess, because I have met a lot of people who told me that, and I went through the same thing. What's gonna happen with you is that you, up to this point in your life, have already developed something within yourself, developed your identity. You have also kind of reached and achieved some goals in your life, and you have some kind of social and physical and different kind of status in your life, right, which you are attached to. Now you're trying to imagine, your mind is trying to imagine, okay, now I need to learn. What that actually means is the mind automatically kind of lower your state, because you have to start from the zero. You have to start something new. New means like almost like the ground zero, right? And at this point you are afraid to start small, because you already achieved something in your life. And it's again, what do I mean by saying you're afraid to start something small? Well, you fear something. So the fear, I can assure you guys, the fear is the main reason why a lot of us just stop learning. And learning is power, guys. You gotta learn because you have to acquire the knowledge, because by learning you acquire the knowledge. And then how do you use that knowledge? Well, you exchange it for value. You bring in value to others and they give you goodies in exchange of that, because it's volume of exchange as well. And the second thing, why do you need to have the knowledge, is just because you have transformed the knowledge into the skill by applying this knowledge. As soon as you apply this knowledge, you create the skill, and you repeat and practice it, and you become skillful at something. And then again, you can exchange the skill for anything which you want in your life, for another skill, for money, for anything. So my point today is we have the same capacity to learn, all of us. Only a lot of us do not tap in the potential to learn. Why is that? Because of our fears. Where those fears come from being punished for our mistake during the school, universities, and colleges. So anything we need to do right now is to break through that fear and start learn. Do not be afraid to start small. No one's gonna judge you, even if they will. So what? Do your thing, keep learning, keep acquiring the knowledge, getting more skillful, bring more value to the world, and the world will get this value back to you. All right? I hope it was useful. It's enough out of me today, guys. Igor from the Better Life Academy. Bye-bye.